So he's been to see the Northern Lights and everything. He's very jealous.
Speaking of which, I actually, in 2 years, understandably enough, by the progress of our class, for German class, we're going to Belgium. Or no, not. Yeah, we're going to Berlin. That's
Berlin. Cool.
Yeah, in the capital of Germany, I believe.
And,
yeah. And I say, not surprisingly, in 2 years, because so far, this is a few months in, we've only gotten the basic understanding of how to conjugate verbs, and how to conjugate irregular verbs, and how to form a sentence that doesn't start with the word I.
Well, it takes time.
Progress is slow and inefficient.
That's cool, though. I go to Cologne a lot, but I haven't been to Berlin.
Yeah.
We have a production site over in Cologne. But yeah, I like Germany.
One thing I found out relatively recently is that I was shell-shocked in a way, like culture shock, that other countries aren't as patriotic as America.
No, they really aren't.
Like, you could, like, 5 minutes in America, and you'll walk through, you'll shuffle through 18 American flags with some guns painted on them because, America. But, glitchiness.
Oh, is it taking time to restart it? Oh, there we go.
Right off the bat. Just watch. just watch. Anyway, so, like, in America, you could go 5 minutes. 5 minutes in America will make you wade through 20 American flags with 18 guns on the side.
Sigh. What does a shocked sigh sound like, do you reckon?
A what?
It says, Handsome Jack, shocked sigh. Now, you can make a shocked noise like a, but what's a shocked sigh? I don't know. I don't know how I'd describe that to actually do it.
Wait a minute for me to stop giggling so I can try to reproduce it. Okay.
No, it has to be a sigh like a, ah. Ah, I don't know. What do you do?
Oh, that's pretty good. Maybe.
Having a spasm. It's weird.
That would be a shock.
Going back to what you say it's like in America, but that's just everywhere has something a bit like that. In America, it's very patriotic. In Germany, it's
In Germany, you just won't find German flags like anywhere.
But Germans have other things, so they joke about this. But Germans are very law-abiding. So one of my work colleagues was visiting in London.
So you'll find some literal grammar Nazis. I would just love to see in Germany, just like on the checklist, it's a literal grammar Nazi. That's what I'm looking for.
Like any big city, most big cities, when you've got like crossing roads and things, like people just wait for a gap in the traffic and they pile across.
Yeah.
And my colleague was saying to me, you don't do that in Germany. If the little green man's not there on the crossing, no one moves.
And
everyone behaves themselves, and that's just a feature of what I like.
Yeah, it's funny with that because in America here we have this thing where half of the country seems to be agreed that that you should just go when you want to, and like when there's no traffic, and then the other half seems to be so dedicated to the system of these lights that they will literally, like, as soon as it turns green, even if there's like 100 cars, they're just like, and
but it's jaywalking, isn't it? Jaywalking is a crime,
and I am proud to be a part of those people who have their lives to thank for those like stoplights. Like, we have we trust these things with our lives. That's just the amount of dedication we have. And the other half of the country...
We've had this conversation before, by the way.
Oh, really?
I'm sure we have about... It's really familiar, like jaywalking. Yeah, I'm sure we have.
Yeah, it's probably...
Yeah, I think we have.
Probably one of those, like, first few Skype calls where we compare and contrast our two countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to talk to Codsworth real quick.
He's still alive.
Yeah.
Is he going to help us? Is he going to be... I've never actually played this game, remember?
Yeah.
I've never played it. I've only ever seen what you've done with it.
Hold on, let me just put this up a bit.
As I live and breathe, sir.
it seems like the levels for the voices are so low. Let's see.
I've got you muted though because I'll hear an echo otherwise.
Oh
They
yeah.
did it. Those bastards really did it.
The Red Menace.
Everything's dead? Ah, yes, the dove.
It's the Red Skull. Hail Hydra!
Ah, if only the missus were here to help. Where is she, by the by?
I'm sorry, Codsworth, but sorry, as my voice cracks. But I'm sorry, Codsworth, but she has been murdered by some bastards in lab coats.
Sir, these things you're saying,
Well, he's not going to understand anyway. He doesn't know about emotions. He's a robot.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand
Well,
emotions.
he is conveying some emotions. He's like, these terrible things I do believe is a distraction. Yes.
No, it's just a simulacrum. It's not really emotions. He's a machine.
Yeah. And now he's just going back to to play some charades, or as the rest of the world says it, charades. Let's see. He's gone. Dang it! They stole him.
Damn it. Someone took him. Someone stole my son.
It's worse than I thought.
Oh, I love
You're
this.
suffering from hunger and beautiful
Just wait.
paranoia. Not eating properly for 200 years will do that, I'm afraid.
Huh? Poor old Cosworth. Poor, completely loopy.
What? Hunger-induced paranoia.
200 years? What?
Let's have a think. Is this a reasonable amount of damage for 200 years and a massive explosion? It probably is, isn't it? Really, it's not too bad.
I mean, for all we know, he dug a hole and then just hovered down into it, buried himself alive for a few hundred years, and then went up. It's like, look at the wasteland. Time to polish the rusted car.
He's obviously hardened against the EMP. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
And I'm just gonna show off this bit. It's this hilarious bit.
For a floating three-eyed robot, you're a bit weird.
I spent the first 10 years trying to keep them.
It's obviously the easy charisma test at the start,
Yeah.
isn't it? Because you've got no charisma at all.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, no. Everybody, it's obvious that I don't have any charisma.
Nothing gets out of my nuclear vital wood. Nothing.
How do you polish rust? That's funny.
Aw.
Okay, stay with me, pal.
Focus.
A big ding on his head, isn't he?
Oh yeah, there is.
Bombs came and all
Don't worry, Cosworth. I'll fix that right off.
So is he coming with us, or does he have to stay behind?
He has to stay behind until I do the first death claw fight.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
holotape. I believe
And you can see in his eyes that they aren't pixely as anything. Like before, they were lower. They were a lower definition than the ET game for the NES.
Thank you, Codsworth.
you're
And,
welcome.
and of course,
And a feeling
as I was saying before, he obviously does not have charisma. I mean, just try looking at him, and just try standing there with a straight face or a non-scared face, looking at him.
Just thinking Codsworth. Now the three eyes. I can't remember in Fallout 3 if the three eyes all looked at you at once, or if he tended to look at you with the central eye and the other two on the side. Because this one is one
I
looking back.
He tries to look at you with whatever eyes are convenient. Because what I like is that not only do each specific eye has its own range, at a certain point when you're far enough away, it'll just look forward sensibly enough. And what I like is that each eye actually does have a specific swivel. There's a lock on how much on the
rotation.
on the rotation. Yeah. So there's that.
Well, he's obviously still got a back on his head, so you can back to his body, so you can still get up to him and get behind him essentially. But yeah, it must be much harder to sneak up behind them when they're like that.
And not to mention he actually the standard Codsworth. I'm so confused about the fact that they standard have a flamethrower and a
Hmm.
buzzsaw, like standard. Like you're gonna have oh god, right?
But
Sorry,
Mr. Handy was always
a bit
pretty
of
deadly, wasn't he? He always
yeah,
had a lot.
and
He had a zapper, I think. I'm
God
pretty sure.
forbid the Mr. Gutsy. They might as well put a freaking machine gun on each arm. I mean, that bit of blood that came out, that was from a different mod that I had where you have more blood than the Kool-Aid Man. So
But then in the original Fallout 1 and 2, they were, which I did play a very long time ago, many times. They had like laser pistols, and it was like civilian
yeah,
laser pistol, and then the army versions. So it was still a fairly brutal place
Yeah.
in terms of the sort of weapons that are out.
yeah, and also the fact that a civilian laser pistol exists.
I like these
That's
Mm.
just like somebody's just gonna be in the house and it's like, oh, I'm gonna go hunting. Might as well get the laser pistol instead of.
Well, it's good for the ladies. It's lightweight. You know, it's got no recoil.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
you
and
can
that's
imagine people selling it, can't you?
that's
You know.
actually another thing that I had to get a mod for, God knows why, to get rid of, is the fact that in Fallout 4, lasers have recoil.
That's not a laser, then, is it?
Like, there's I don't
Plasma,
know.
you can imagine.
I don't know if you know him, but Austin, he's a YouTuber. He does the science of things, and my voice cracked
Oh,
again.
okay.
He does the science without voice crack, and
Yeah.
and he did an entire episode on how lasers in Fallout 4 should not have recoil.
Mm, exactly.
So
Laser programming.
so naturally somebody made a mod to get rid of recoil on laser weapons, and I have downloaded that mod.
That's what I like.
So now we have realistic lasers that don't have recoil, because why would lasers have recoil?
Did he start getting into the physics of, you know, firing
Yeah.
a laser through, you know, at range and
Yeah.
through air and everything
And
else? Yeah.
and he had fun with the laser musket as well. how
Oh,
how
I've
you
seen
spin a crank to turn a very archaic an archaic
There's no
little
point
thing.
spinning a laser. No, there's no point spinning several barrels of a laser. You know,
Yeah,
you might as well have
and-
several barrels
and
of a
with
laser
the-
and then popping them all.
with the impracticality of using the fact that a spinning laser a spinning automatic laser barrel exists, like you
Yeah.
said.
Do you even physics? My goodness.
and whenever he says every episode, he's like, the science, like in that tone, his voice.
Like, I have to look out for him.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's good. He's on MatPat's channel now, Game Theory.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
he migrated over there, unfortunately, because, and I say unfortunately because hashtag Let Austin Curse exists. And,
Oh, I see.
And if you've seen any of his old videos and any of the new ones, you know why. Like in the old ones, he would swear like a
Like a navvy.
yeah
Like a
sailor's snotty son. That's a word for that's a sentence for you.
Oh, like you just ripped a tree stump out of the ground there. Good job. Rah! Well, you have got high strength.
well, with that ugliness comes a lot of. God dang it! I hate it. Like one bad thing about I guess it's the scrap everything mod is the fact that you can scrap everything, and you can select everything.
Entire
and I
house.
mean-
I remember this.
and I mean- Like ripping the foundation out of a house, and I'm glad I have it because I have OCD and I don't like it when there are things that you should be able to scrap that you can't scrap. You know, like
But that's
piles.
fair enough. It's up to you, isn't it? It's then up to
Like-
you to just use what you want to use.
Yeah,
And you say, okay, I could remove the entire building, but for RP, I won't.
I could use this console command menu to scrap all, but I'm not going to because
Exactly.
it'll basically take a black hole and then use the stuff that it sucks up from. It'll just leave a crater in the world with some
Exactly.
random bits laying around. That's it.
So what's the plan then? What are you going to do? What's the goal here? I mean, you're collecting things for a house here, but
Well-
are you going to set a certain level? What are you going to do?
Well, I'm thinking that we just screw around for a bit. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, we've got a while, and like I said earlier,
When are we going to
and-
kill? That's what I'm
you're sounding like a
when are we
di-
going to sneak up and shank someone and take their stuff? I'm just wondering.
you are
It's a
like,
reasonable question.
you are word for word sounding like like a diehard fan of the Assassin's Creed franchise going into Assassin's Creed 3.
Well, I have been playing a lot of ninja games, and I'm
Yeah.
bringing back the Sticks Let's Play.
Yeah,
So
I noticed. You're playing Mark of the Ninja, which is actually a really good game, I must say. I
it
mean,
really surprised me, but I'm really
Yeah.
enjoying it. It's great. I love it.
it's one of
Yeah.
those games that really just genuinely surprises you with how good it is.
Yeah.
And then
I think it's because it's a level of easy. It's not too hard. It's not too killer.
Yeah, and how's that orc game going along? I haven't seen much of it.
I'll come back to Orcs and Men. I've never played. People say it's compared to Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Knights of the Old Republic apparently had this timed action game thing where you'd go to a battle and everything would slow down slightly but not stop, and you would choose actions. And I found out what I'm doing wrong.
Like the newer version of VATS, where it slows time but doesn't actually freeze it.
Exactly, but I don't like it particularly yet. But I know what I'm doing wrong, which is that I'm trying to be too careful. And having watched a bit of Reverclaim play it, because who was I originally saw it play, you need to run in there and forget like being careful and doing a stun. For the basic guys, you just walk up to them and you put the most powerful attack on, and you keep hitting them until they fall over, and then you move on to the next guy.
Yeah.
It's not refined in any way whatsoever, and that's the trouble.
You know, that kind of reminds me of Assassin's Creed 3 in a funny sense.
Really?
Now this can be applied to almost every single Assassin's Creed game out there because they're cut and paste basically. And well, what it is that one thing that I find is odd about Assassin's Creed, but oddly satisfying, is the fact that all you have to do is just spam the attack button.
Mash those buttons.
Yeah, just mash that button until some guy decides I'm gonna spend 30 years telegraphing this one attack so that you can dodge it, and then once you hit god dang it, this notification came up for some reason. It was a YouTube one, but anyway, you probably won't see it on stream.
No.
So what happens is that all you have to do is just keep hitting the attack button, and then whenever he tries to attack you, this stop sign or warning sign will just hover above him. That's so obvious that you have to hit the block this attack button, and then time will slowly once you hit it. Once you block it with your arm somehow, time will freeze, where you can then choose the method of dispatching the unlucky.
Oh, I see. Okay, I think I've seen that.
Guy who had decided to hit you in the face in the first place.
Yeah.
Now, it's oddly satisfying because this chaining this with one thing I like to do in the game is just hit some guard in the face and run around the city for a few minutes, and then get the entire population of the planet in one place, and then just start mashing away. What I do is I will get all of these guys, all these Templars, the redcoats, or the American cut and paste, which is the bluecoats. They're basically the British ones, but without the Cockney accent and with a blue coat.
Blimey.
And it's stop right there.
I'll have you, mate. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so anywho, so one thing is it's just a palette swap of them, and the only difference is their accent and the fact that they are American. Instead of the filthy British swine that seem to be exactly the same in literally every single way to the Americans. Except for coats.
And also orcs in most games as well.
Yeah. But not Assassin's Creed, because they like to be historically significant with their team of multicultural people with belief.
Barry, you mean? Barry who sits in the corner.
Yeah,
chewing his felt tips.
And what it is, they always do that little thing in the beginning. It's like that if you have epilepsy GTFO, but instead it's this game was made by a team of culturally sensitive people of all different races,
Confidence.
ethnics, etc. And now with Assassin's Creed Syndicate, they've decided to add in, like, to that list, different genders and sexual identities, which is
Oh.
something I would prefer to not know, but they think that if they have a female protagonist half the time that I barely use in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, they think that, oh, we should make sure that they know that we actually have women in this team.
Exactly.
And I think I'll just finish up scrapping here a little bit, because I've been scrapping for a solid 15 minutes. And
It's
I
alright,
think
we're talking rubbish anyway. It doesn't
I
matter.
think it's about time we hit some Deathclaw in the face.
Well, unfortunately, that's horrible time, because unfortunately I need to go. I'm afraid.
Oh,
I need to go and get some
really?
soil. I'm afraid so. Yes.
Uh,
Indeed. Let me know when you're doing this again. I will
Alright.
try to be here, but this is a good time.
Sometime tomorrow.
Well, next week you've got some time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to be on tomorrow at some point. But give me a shout.
Sometime tomorrow, the next day, and Monday.
There you go. See, it's just not a stop. I used to do
Yeah.
96 hours of Fallout 4.
Yeah.
till you can't
And-
talk anymore.
And my hope is that I could somehow get enough potential footage to last a week or two, because of the fact that I cannot do this during the week because of school.
Oh, you can easily
So-
chuck up a whole lot of footage though on this
Yeah.
very easily. So 20 minutes at a time. Anyway, so yeah, and let me know. Get the recordings on for YouTube. See how that goes.
Yeah.
Although you missed the start, it's not a bad point to just say,
Yeah.
here's an intro and get on with it as well.
Yeah, I
And
can
go-
just
and go
like
that-
talk about for a bit, and once I do that, you'll be able to catch up with it.
Exactly. Set some plans and off you go.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Nice to speak to you. Have a
Alright.
good one. Feel better soon.
You too. Or,
I'll catch you later.
nice to meet you too. Alright. See ya.
See you, mate.
Alright. So that's that. Now, like I was saying, I think it's about time I go fight something. With this stick, that's not what I want. I want the pistol. Right, so... Let's see. Just some frame buggery. That's not that much of a problem, really. Oh, look at this guy. He's got a shotgun. Nice. This dog with a tire iron. Anyway, so let's see. We're good. Right. Let's go get our dog, shall we? Hello there.
Hey, boy. What are you doing out here all by yourself?
Let's see.
You seem like an okay guy.
Sorry about that.
Okay, then. Let's stick together.
You know, sick and all that. So, let's see. It's annoying how the game like freezes for 5 seconds while I do this. Oh yeah, and that music in the background, this radio, it reminds me that I should get some nice music going on. I'm thinking the Twilight Zone. Move it lowered a bit so I can actually talk. There it is. Just some background noise.
She is beyond illness,
For when I'm not talking.
and under normal circumstances should have a life supply of a normal human being.
God dang it! How do you do that anyway, dog? I'm locking this door.
My name's Elizabeth.
And this
What's your
one.
name?
Get out of here.
Let's see. Use
Get
that.
out of here. I don't need a machine. Go on, get out of here.
My name's Alicia. What's your name?
Sorry. Oh Jesus. Oh no. Yeah. I'm not ready. Hey, you guys, I'm not ready. No. I'm not ready. There we go.
How would you?
I can see you here.
You know what? I'm probably gonna have to find a way to get that audio out for that 1 second, because you don't want no sneezes in the audio. That's never good. So yeah, I'm gonna
How?
try and get that.
You're a machine, aren't you?
Right. So I think that's that.
Why didn't they build you to look
Come on,
like a
dog. Let's go. Oh wait, no, forgot to
Why didn't they build you out of
forgot to
metal?
lock this door.
Like
No.
that.
Okay. Anywho, let's continue.
Cover you with something that looks like flesh. Give you a face.
Oh dear. I always hate those
Makes me think.
in the beginning. Like when you're not ready, they always
Believe
just
it.
screw you over. Oh, there's just one. No, it is two.
It's a lie.
Okay, just kidding. It's not the worst.
And now, a word or several from our sponsors.
There we go,
A
Concord.
portion of this broadcast has been brought to you by
Oh, I leveled up.
and Destruction. Here's the 5 stars.
Oh, what's that? Some gunfire in the distance? Hello. I know you're there because I've played this game so many times before. What's this? Just get you.
Damn it!
Oh.
Hey, up here, on the balcony.
Hello
I've got a
there.
group of settlers inside. The raiders are almost through the door. Grab that laser musket and help us.